Hello everybody, how's everyone today? I hope that this gets seen and I hope this gets shared. This is very serious and very important. I am the victim of revenge, retaliation through Lennox and Annington, Ontario provincial police for 3 years for speaking their crimes. As a result, I am the victim of identity theft. Identity changes, which I have shown, which I have proven, skull splitting, brain injuring, body mutilations, medical blacklisting, false arrest in an attempt to give record and also to deflect crimes, kidnapping, sex assault, being shot, medical blacklisting, stalking, all because I spoke of police crimes. My mother was stalked. My mother was murdered as well for revenge retaliation. I have this being used on me, being used criminally on me, and it's being used through O.p.p. It is being used through the doctors. Well, not the doctors, but the doctors are aiding and covering up this crime on me while criminally negligently co-committing. It is being used on me through one Hells Angels Ontario chapter, sex offender, child stalker for the ex-O.p.p chief or commander, a dangerous offender, highly psychotic, highly delusional, one known as William Bill Wooldridge, 149 Center Street North, now bald, glasses, did have a goatee, highly protected. Cops will surround hands on guns to protect him and them, of course, and everybody else. Shannon Cork will laugh in your face over his arrest, knowing that he will go on to murder for her. Isn't that right, Shannon Cork? There is Blair Hardy. There is Jason Two-Step Gimpy Van Alstyne. There is Tyler Lake. He is guilty of animal abuses, animal murders. There is his girlfriend, Holly Carlisle. There is Michelle Irish. There is an Isaac. There is a Bucktooth Bob, aka Robert Berry. There is a Allie Cooper. And there's many others that are using this remote neural monitoring on me, and as a result, I'm having my fucking identity changed. I go through changes on a daily basis from having these drug-fed, money-paid little pieces of shit use this on me, broadcasting through me, sucking my life out of me. My right kidney is gone. My right lung is gone. I've had serious body mutilations. No matter how much I can prove everything and anything, it is still called a lie. Nobody in this town can be arrested and nobody in this town can get medical help. I've been called retarded by doctors. I've been called crazy, told that they can't fix that because of me speaking of me going through this identity theft. Isn't that right, Dr. Waldron? Calling me a retard. And I proved you wrong about identity theft and changes, you piece of shit. And I don't care if you're a doctor or not, you're guilty of aiding in this crime against me. You're guilty of attempted homicide. You're guilty of murdering my mother. That's O.p.p. I mean, not Dr. Waldron. I had Dr. Barton laugh in my face over trying to report being sodomized because who it was done from, and he laughed in my fucking face over it. Had no interest whatsoever because it was done by the police, and his boss, Billy Wooldridge, pretty much called me a fucking liar. Even with me showing proof of my fucking ass being ripped open and my underwear covered in nothing but blood. Okay, having a justice of the peace accuse me of hallucinating, being high on drugs, marijuana, and hallucinating it? I don't fucking think so. Done to obstruct 100% because she was corrupt. The woman looked like she just got finished railing a big line of cocaine, and she smelled of whiskey at 10 o'clock in the morning. So, let this be known, Napanee, no matter how much you can prove crimes against you, it will do no good, especially if you are poor, homeless, elderly, disabled. They know that they cannot fight against the O.p.p. crimes, the doctors, the lies, the false arrests, the cover-ups to justify their crimes against their victims. O.p.p. is responsible for murdered and missing. O.p.p. is responsible for human trafficking, human sex trade, slavery trafficking, using the R&M on victims, passing it around to pedophiles to use on children because it enables invasive surveillance on a victim. I have it on me. They see everything I do 24/7. They watch me sleep. They watch me piss. They watch me shit. They watch me shower, highly obsessed and getting paid for it, numbing me down to dumb me down so I'm not talking about this so they get away with it. All of this could be proven, but time's been bought. It has been 3.5 years since August of 2019. Tyler Lake is also guilty and responsible for causing serious harm and damage to my dog as well. He is nothing but a meth-fed little fucking piece of shit. Jason Gimpy Two-Step Van Alstyne. These are all unarrestable little bastards that are work with him for O.p.p. They're pedophiles, they're drug traffickers. Jason Van Alstyne and O.p.p. Spencer Mills, 147 drug cop, and Blair Hardy are boyfriends. Also, Blair Hardy, Jason Van Alstyne, was also with and responsible for Jack Clark's death. Jason Van Alstyne was with him, and Blair Hardy is a drug trafficker. Blair Hardy is a rapist. Blair Hardy is guilty of lacing drugs in Napanee to sell with the intent to commit murder to make it look just that. Another junkie getting drugs and overdosing from him. This, my life and my identity and everything else is being fucking played into a game. This is about framing people. I have prisoner tracking on me illegally. I was falsely arrested in an attempt to give me a criminal record to get away with this, to justify their crimes against me, to prevent me help. My skull's been seriously split and deformed. My brain's been seriously injured. These bastards are using R&M on me to seriously fucking lobotomize me in hopes that I'm not talking about this, in hopes to drive me crazy, to take me off my own consciousness. So I don't think that, so I don't think and know who I truly am because time has been bought. They fucked the right side of my brain and now they're going after my left. All I feel is electricity. I have no feeling or stimulation in my head anymore. So my identity is gone. I feel nothing left. So you fucking did your job, Spencer Mills, you piece of shit terrorist. You went up to fucking Toronto and you got your little cocksucking boyfriend, Billy Wooldridge, or Picton, because that's where he was living as well, and hanging out at Tim Hortons, stalking children for them, for the Wellington O.p.p. And then he was starting to do it in Napanee at Tim Hortons for ex-O.p.p or commander, chief or commander. Conveniently untouchable, conveniently unarrestable. If O.p.p thinks he's innocent of everything, why the fuck are you protecting him so much? Hey? What's he got over you? What the fuck does these pieces of shit garbage have on O.p.p that make them so untouchable? It's because they're working with and for you, that's right, committing these Pontius Pilate murders, using R&M on victims to mentally fuck them up, completely changing identities on people, using junkies to use this shit like a fucking game on victims. There is a Bert Hummin or Human or whatever. He hangs out with a Maggie Falls who works for Robert Can Fuck, Can Kill, Can Get Away with It, Money Badge Family Town Council Lucas. And he lives about 50 feet from me, and that's where they're staying. They were there last night because they know that he's a cop and they won't get busted there, and they work for him. Maggie Falls is allegedly uh, undercover. There is Shelley Barchet as well, Tyler Lake's mother, obviously Blair Hardy. He's highly obsessed, highly psychotic, the fucking piece of shit. Luckily, time's been bought, and I have not been able to get help with this. So you're getting away with this no matter. I have to put up with this. There's nothing I can do about it. No matter what is done to me, I cannot do a damn thing about this but put up with it and let them murder me. Simple as that, because they've already taken care of everything through the hospital. Through Dr. Tatiana V, who happens to be Stacy's girlfriend, medical file falsifier, medical blacklister, the one that assures the crimes for her girlfriends and the cops and her boss, Billy Waldridge, Blair Hardy, Tyler Lake, and Van Alstyne. And that's right, that's who they're covering up for. They're covering up for inmates, junkies, and fucking O.p.p cops, and themselves, of course, so they can get out of being arrested and charged like I've been trying to get for 3 years. And that is why they had me falsely arrested in an attempt to deflect that and turn it back on me using harassment bullshit and then making me jump through hoops going to court and not giving me any information at all whatsoever. I was kidnapped 24 hours after asking for help with what has taken place with me May 27, 2021, through Shelley Hafner or Huffner's bullshit and competency lies done to shut me up the night that she got murdered, the day she got my blood and my piss, and then found out what she'd done 24 hours afterwards. She fucked off real quick. Not before getting my blood and my piss, though. Spencer Mills was in possession of my original CAT scans given to him to O.p.p from Stacy through her girlfriend Tatiana, my medical blacklister, Stacy's girlfriend. That's right, they give out medical information to O.p.p and to everybody else. The hospital you think you know, the cops you think you know. One way or another, I'm gonna sue your fucking asses off if nobody is arrestable. And I've already proven my identity theft. So, I'm not taking a fall for any of these bastards. You put prisoner tracking on me. You're using all of these fucking inmates and junkies to turn me into look like all of these fuckers so I can conveniently get mistaken identity, possibly be killed or be taken as one of them, and then with my false arrest and all of that, it was done to for this identity theft and what is happening to me for forgeries, framings, and frauds against me, and with me looking like all these different people and having the prisoner tracking on me illegally, you can just say, yes, you are this person. No, I'm not. But nice try, fucking O.p.p. Right, Spencer Mills, right, Blair Hardy. No matter how much is done to me, I can't do a damn thing about this. Remember it. So, this is how Ontario O.p.p kidnapping, human traffic, frame, and murder. They deform. They commit identity thefts and frauds, financial thefts and frauds. They stalk. They have parents murdered for revenge, retaliation, and then they commit identity thefts to have that person trafficked or murdered. They harbor wanted sex offender, pedophile inmates. They protect, refuse arrest on Right Shannon Cork, i.e., one known as Billy Wooldridge, 149 Center Street North, was living at 34 Water Street at one time. Highly obsessed, highly psychotic, thinks he's me, was told he and I were switched at birth. I'm 50, he's 73, 72, 73. Blair Hardy's approximately 65. He was stalking me at the mission. He used to drive a white Mercedes he got from human trafficking and drug trafficking meth. And that's right, he's a rape hound. Him and like I said, once again, him and Jason Van Alstyne are guilty of being involved with Jack Clark's death. Blair Hardy also raped a woman named Olivia, who is now gone from fentanyl overdose. He done it right here in this building where I live. Not in this apartment, but this building. So let this be known, people. I am a 3-year identity theft, identity change, human traffic with the intent to frame and murder. And like I said, my mother was stalked and killed through Billy Wooldridge and Blair Hardy through using remote neuromonitoring on her because it gives off radiation and EMFs inside a person. It caused tumors and cancers in her, and it was done with intent. Everything against me, premeditated, conspired with intent, right from 2019, 3 years of this. The longer this goes on, the more my brain's gonna be fucked. My identity will be changed, and you done what you wanted to do. Isn't that right, Spencer Mills? Isn't that right, O.p.p? This is how you get out of criminal civil lawsuits. This is a way you get away with your homicides. This is a way you get away with your other crimes. I spoke up to try to save lives and I became a victim, so congratulations, you fucking garbage. I'm gonna get off here, and anything happens to my dog, Tyler Lake, because of what you've done to him, he's now turning into look like a fucking pug dog when I own a lab and shepherd beagle collie mix. No pug. His face is swelling up, he's snorting blood. You're using R&M between your dog and my dog and causing serious fucking harm to him. So anything happens to me or my dog, Tyler Lake, you are a murdering little fucking piece of shit, along with your little bitch, Holly Carlisle, along with Michelle Irish, and arrest you little fucking junkies who are meth bed, heroin addicts, crackheads, Jason Van Alstyne. So you're having fun doing this, aren't you? In hopes that I crack, in hopes that I go crazy, in hopes that I forget about this, in hopes that I commit a crime or do something so you can justifiably do what you intend to do. Remember the day of my kidnapping, Spencer Mills, when you showed up and I had the bag to be put in a different car because your intent that day, and I say this without paranoia, your intent that day was to kill me, and it would have been your perfect chance, and that's why you wanted me in your car. That was the plan all along with Shelley Hafner, wasn't it? But I had the bag to be put in a different car with Staff Sergeant. So, and I do say that without paranoia, but that was your intent, and you would have had the perfect opportunity. You're a drug cop. I do not do drugs. You've insinuated yourself into my fucking life ever since you showed up at my fucking door to threaten me and intimidate me with the mental health worker back in 2019 before I was shot in my right ear by something by ex-O.p.p chief and whoever the fuck that was in a black truck on the corner of Center and Thomas, or Center Street and Bridge Street at my previous address at the stoplights. Conveniently, Billy Wooldridge lives right across the road from my previous address now. So, or the one known as Billy Wooldridge. He frequents the loaf and ale and coffee cravings here in Napanee too. He has glasses, bald, goatee, or did have, approximately 73, Blair Hardy 65. Remember, all these people are untouchable, unarrestable, and they even have a justice of the peace to block arrest on them. So, you're poor, you're homeless, you're elderly, you're disabled, you're screwed against O.p.p and the crimes, and once they cast their lies against you, lies against me about being long history and record, with psychological record in history, long criminal record in history. None of it is true in any way, shape, or form. Lies about me, about being suicidal, self-harmer, to prevent me from being taken serious and to prevent me help. None of it is true in any way, shape, or form, and it needs to be proven by the ones that cast that lie. My kidnapping, my sex assault, medical blacklisting, medical treatment refusals, laughing in my face, Dr. Pritchard trying to have me committed for me being sodomized after Barton laughing in my face because it was done to me and by whom it was done to, and by their boss, Staff Sergeants and Billy Wooldridge. So they use R&M for human trafficking. They use it to cause memory losses. They cause it for identity thefts, obviously. They use it on children for pedophilia, sexual purposes, for invasive surveillance on them, and adults as well. They watch me sleep, they watch me piss, they watch me shit. Everything I do. I've lost about 3 to 5 inches off of my fucking skull because of being injured and being burned out of my head, not being believed about what is happening to me, even with proof. So let it be known, Napanee, no matter what you do here to try to save your life, it will not happen. When O.p.p, Billy Wooldridge, Blair Hardy, Jason Van Alstyne, and Tyler Lake want somebody dead, they assure it. With pay, with drugs, with protection, with arrest refusals, of course. You know, you speak police crimes and you will be killed, and so will your family. So you did it after all of this. I am 50 years old. I spoke of police crimes, and as a result, this, no matter what you can do, it will do no good in Napanee to try to save your life in any way, shape, or form. Once Blair Hardy, Billy Wooldridge, Tyler Lake, Van Alstyne, and O.p.p want somebody murdered, I am an identity theft victim just with that intent because Billy Wooldridge is a wanted Harvard sex offender. He's highly obsessed, he's highly psychotic, so if I die or look like him, or get taken as him, then that way they can say, well, guess what? Billy Wooldridge is dead, or whoever the fuck he truly is. And then he goes on as me. Isn't that the plan, Spencer Mills? Because he's your little pedophile sex offender fuck toy. And Blair Hardy. Chris Wood here. Remember my tattoos. Because this is fucking done in one way or another. Blair Hardy, Billy Wooldridge, you're gonna pay for this. Tyler Lake, Jason Van Alstyne, you're gonna pay for this. And every other little bastard involved. One way or another, you're gonna fucking pay for it. Even if it is too late. Damage has been done, time has been bought. Let this be known, Napanee, and I have no criminal record or history or association with any of these fuckers prior to any of this happening. I spoke of police crimes, and like I said, I am the victim here for 3 years of going through this. False arrest and everything. You try to save your life in Napanee, you try to save your consciousness, you try to save from being mentally and physically injured. You try to save your bloodline, it won't happen. So remember this, especially poor homeless families are murdered and missing. It is the police. It is Lennox and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police. They're psych ward inmates. They're jail criminal inmates. They're drug fed, money paid co offenders. Remember this. Be safe. Watch yourselves. Watch your children. Watch your parents. Watch your finances too, because this is being used for financial thefts and frauds as well. Forgeries they commit. Nobody's arrestable in Napanee. This is the only town where you can commit any crime and get away with it. And I have proven it. I have proven you can get away with murder out your ass. You can get away with anything in Napanee, Lennox and Addington, Ontario, Canada. Just work with and for O.p.p, Billy Wooldridge, Blair Hardy, and you are safe. I've proven it. They have the doctors here and the JP and everybody else to prevent arrest, to cover all asses, their badges, positions, credentials. Remember this.